Hello, my name is Walter Unglaub, and this is Are Conics Important in Physics? So it turns out that conics can be very useful in physics for understanding the mathematics of certain physical systems. So here I have a right cone, meaning that this angle is 90 degrees if you look at the cone from the side. And if we have a cutting plane that cuts right through the cone, then the curve that this cutting plane makes inside with the curve can be represented in one of four different shapes. And the shape will depend on the angle by which this plane cuts through the cone. So, if the plane cuts through the cone horizontally, then the curve will be a circle. And we can parameterize the type of curve by what's called the eccentricity. So in the case of the circle, the eccentricity is equal to 0. And an equation that relates the eccentricity for the case of the right cone and this angle of the cutting plane would be given as the square root of 2 times cosine of this angle phi. So if the plane instead has this angle right here, so an angle that is less than 90 degrees, then the curve will be an ellipse. And circles and ellipses are important in physics because they describe the possible trajectories of stable orbits in space. So an ellipse is what Kepler discovered to be the curve or trajectory of the planets orbiting around our star, the Sun. And ellipses have eccentricities that are greater than 0, but less than 1. So if the cutting plane cuts through the cone at an angle that makes the plane parallel to the side of the cone, then we get a parabola. And parabolas are important in parabolic motion or parabolic trajectories, such as when you throw a baseball in the air. It will experience acceleration due to the force of gravity, and this arc, due to gravity, is parabolic motion. Finally, if the cutting plane forms an angle that is between 0 and 45 degrees, then the resulting curve is called a hyperbola. And we see hyperbolas in scattering experiments. It can be the scattering of, say, an asteroid or a meteor or comet about a star, in which it comes in at a certain angle and it's deflected off, or it can be a charged particle that is shot at, say, a bunch of atoms, and depending on the charge and what type of particle it is, like an electron, it can be deflected by the positive charge in the atom. And these curves can be represented and understood as hyperbolas. So you can get all sorts of trajectories and curves in physics that are mathematically described by conic sections, simply by the angle by which the cutting plane makes with the right cone. My name is Walter Unglaub, and this is Are Conic Sections Important in Physics?